Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be breaking down Jaelan Phillips' big game against the Carolina Panthers, 3 sacks. Before we get started though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video before we dive into this film session. With that said, let's dive right into the film session, and I hope you enjoy. So, like I do, with all these film session videos, I start with the stats. And if you look at Jaelen Phillips coming into this game against Carolina, 3.5 sacks on the year, 14 solo tackles, and then you add 3 sacks, against Carolina and 3 more solo tackles. I mean, he's up to 6.5 sacks on the year. He's having a nice little rookie season, a little bit under the radar, a little bit quiet. Yeah, he is playing next to Emmanuel Ogbah, who's been really productive for this Dolphins team. He's got passes batted down in 7 straight games. It's the longest streak in NFL since about 20 years. It's about the longest streak in the past 20 years in the NFL. But Jaelen Phillips has been really, really good for this Dolphins team, and he's been dynamic. He's been long, lanky, able to get to the passer. But more importantly, he's been another guy that can rush the quarterback and rush the quarterback effectively for this Dolphins unit. Hasn't always been super consistent, but this game against Carolina, big one, obviously 3 sacks. We'll be diving into each of those sacks in today's film session. Let's dive right into it. Let's have some fun. How about this play here? This is going to be Jaelen Phillips right here, lined up once again on the left tackle. He's going to be using some of that speed rush here, trying to get around the outside. And this was actually a really big sack on Cam Newton that ended up putting Cam Newton down at like the 1-yard line, backing the Panthers up a considerable amount. And what I love about this Jaelen Phillips play here is he uses his size and his length, number one, mixed with his speed. So he's got that ability to kind of get around, but using his size and his athleticism. And I'll kind of show you that here. So it's a little bit of just a little shimmy almost here. Starts inside, cuts back outside a little bit, as you can see here, right? Starts, kind of takes an inside track, kind of jabs that left foot in the ground, and then gets the tackle a little bit off balance and goes outside. This is a pure pass rush, speed rush, trying to get by him move, right? So as he gets to that outside, you look at how he uses hands, creates a little separation there, and then he's able to bend. And that's what we always talk about, the ability for defensive ends and pass rushers to bend. But you can see how he bends just around the tackle here, just getting around him, and you can see how he's using that leverage that he has to just get by him and continuing to put that pressure on the tackle, using that speed consistently, just running heavy, going hard, and then keeping those legs turning as the tackle is off-footed now. And now as Cam Newton comes back towards this play, as there's pressure from this side, Phillips is there to take Newton down for the sack. So this is just a really good job by Jaelen Phillips. One, just getting the tackle a little bit off balance. Number two, using his length to create leverage and bending at the point of attack. And then simply just finishing the play, wrapping a big Cam Newton, who's, he's a big quarterback. He's 6'6", well over 200 pounds. So he's a big guy to tackle. He's probably about 6'6", 250. That'd be my guess, 240 maybe. But he's a big guy to tackle, wraps him up, just jumps on him for the tackle. Really, really good job sacking the quarterback here. But it's some of the pass rush moves here. It's a little bit of a jab step, getting the outside, creating some leverage with the hands, and then bending around at the point of attack, and then accelerating and attacking the quarterback for the sack. Really, really well done here by Jaelen Phillips, just smelling the blood in the water. And this is also a really good job by Jaelen Phillips once again too. I really like what he does in this situation. He's going to start going up to the outside, sees as the play develops that it's actually smarter to cut back inside and then attack the quarterback. And I'll kind of show you that. So once again, it's patience and it's just the instinct. It's this football IQ and instinct that really has Jaelen Phillips playing some really good football, plus with just his frame and his traits and his athleticism that really makes him really dangerous. So you're going to see him here, right? Start once again with that left tackle. Really just beat this left tackle up just a lot. Like, I'm sorry for this left tackle. I don't actually know who's the left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. It's kind of bad. But nonetheless, he sees that what's happened here is because the Dolphins, both of their interior defensive linemen here, in this situation, Christian Wilkins here, Adam Butler, number 70. Butler takes an outside approach, and so does Christian Wilkins. And what that does is that means the middle of the offensive line, right here in between the center and the left guard, is wide open. Phillips sees that he's not really going to get anywhere here, right? I mean, the tackle's actually done a pretty good job In his positioning, he's got pretty good positioning. But this is what I love about Phillips. He's got that, oh, you know what? The middle of this offensive line is wide open. And all Phillips does, simply, he's got that speed and that kind of that shiftiness to just cut back towards the left here. Then sees that this hole is wide open and just full on attacks the quarterback. And you just see that burst, wraps him up for the tackle. And then Christian Wilkins and Adam Butler kind of finish it off. But this is just an absolutely great job and great instincts by Jaelen Phillips. Just, coming back to that middle, and then you just see that burst and that drive and that instinct. He goes full boom. That's a really just good job by Jaelen Phillips. This is really well done. Just a little bit patient, waiting for the play to develop a little bit, and then attacking the quarterback. Really well done by Jaelen Phillips. This is why he's going to be a special pass rusher, and he's had these moments so far in his rookie season. Not super consistent yet, but this game, the sacks were there, and you saw the athleticism from Jaelen Phillips. So first play here, Jaelen Phillips, sorry for some of the bad quality here, but he's going to be lined up at the bottom of your screen right there. And there's a few things that I want to talk about in this play. One is Jaelen Phillips' patience, and number two is his burst and some of that athleticism he has. He's pretty long and lanky, but he's really good. So right here, originally, this tight end is going to come out and try and block Jaelen Phillips, which number one is never a good idea. Phillips is just too athletic for that. But at the end of the day, tight end ends up, blocking for a sec and then going out to run into the flat on his route. So don't mind that for a sec. But now Jaelen Phillips is lined up against the left tackle, and the left tackle does a pretty good job here of kind of tying him up a little bit. But more importantly, what I love from Jaelen Phillips is he doesn't try and do too much here. He just understands that right now he's not in a really good situation to rush the quarterback, right? It's a few seconds into this play. There's some pressure here from Zach Sealer and Adam Butler that you'll see as the play develops a little bit. As you see that pocket kind of condenses, Zach Sealer and Adam Butler kind of get there, and then I believe that's Emmanuel Ogbah over there. There is a lot of pressure, which forces P.J. Walker out to the left. And this is perfect for Jaelen Phillips because Jaelen Phillips is over here, and all he's got to do is he's just got to extend his arms, does a really good job extending his arms, really good job here by Zach Sealer and that interior pressure forcing him outside. So credit that interior of that defensive line for the Miami Dolphins a little bit here. But then Phillips, all he's going to do is simply extend those arms, push off that tackle, separate from the tackle, and then show some of that burst and that shark instinct and that killer instinct to go after P.J. Walker and simply just wrap him up. Really classic tackle here, just wraps him up, solid tackle, and gets P.J. Walker for the sack. So this is just a really good job here by Jaelen Phillips. Number one, being a little patient, right? Not trying to do too much, but then when he sees the opportunity, he's got that opportunistic side to him. He's got that killer instinct, and he's got that ability to just get after the quarterback, and that's exactly what you see right here. So with that said, as I said, Jaelen Phillips has had a solid rookie season. He's not been super good the entire time. I'll be honest. He's been a little bit up and down. But overall, I think he's played some really good football, and this game against the Carolina Panthers was especially that. 3 sacks, obviously, all in the second half, helping close out the game, and he's a guy that you can potentially have next to Emmanuel Ogbah for the next few seasons if the Dolphins decide to re-sign Emmanuel Ogbah. They can put up big-time numbers, and the Dolphins should definitely re-sign Emmanuel Ogbah. It's just going to be the price tag that's going to be the question mark. But overall, Jaelen Phillips, what he does and what I showed you is, he's patient, he's athletic, he's long, he's lanky, and he has some of that speed. And when you mix all that together, he's dangerous, especially on the outside against lower-level tackles. At the end of the day, that's what Jaelen Phillips does. Emmanuel Ogbah had a really nice sack on the quarterback for the Dolphins against the Panthers on Taylor Moton, just made Taylor Moton look silly. So both of these guys had really good games against the Panthers, but more importantly, I thought Phillips really, really shined. Sure, 3 sacks is impressive, but it was really those instincts that really came off the charts and really came off the tape. I thought the instincts were there. I thought the length was there, the size. Obviously, he's got all those measurables, but then you add how fast he looks too, and he makes tackles look silly. Overall, he's got that killer instinct, and that's something you can't teach. You can't teach someone that they want the football. They either want the football or they don't, and Phillips wants to get after the football, and that's what we saw in the game against the Panthers last week. So overall, I think Jaelen Phillips he's having a nice little rookie season for this Dolphins team. Chris Grier's doing kind of a nice job with those first 3 picks in last year's draft. Obviously, Jalen Waddle's been putting up massive numbers for this Dolphins team. Javon Holland's been a really good big safety for them. He has 2 interceptions on the season. He's got a couple sacks. And then Phillips has been quietly, getting some sacks and getting some production for this Dolphins defensive line. So overall, really like what Phillips has been able to bring to the table, especially in the sack category. And that game against Carolina was exactly that. So overall, it'll be interesting to see if Phillips can keep up this kind of production as the season progresses and as the Dolphins defense really needs some pass rushing. That's kind of been one of the weaknesses of this Dolphins defense so far this year. Haven't had super consistent pass rushing. Can Phillips try and turn that around in the last few weeks of the season? I mean, if this Panthers game is anything to tell you, then that is certainly going to be the case.
And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.